Well, well, well. What do we have here? Your cries have been answered. Leon is getting a buff. You get a buff. You get a buff. You get a buff. You get a buff. And even you get a buff. That's right, guys. The balance changes are here. We're going to be going over them today, but we're going to be doing it with a twist. You guys know my quirk, and my quirk is ranking things. So we are going to be ranking today's balance changes. Spoiler alert, there's 15 brawlers getting a balance change today, so there's a lot of them. How I'm going to rank the balance changes, like the first place is going to be a balance change that I think was really well. The brawler really needed it. The community feedback on it's probably going to be amazing. Like the last place, like 15th place for a balance change, it's going to be like the change that I don't think it was needed, that the brawler sucked. Let me know what you guys think about the balance changes. Like I said, 15 of them. We're going to go very quickly through them up until we get through the top 4, because then we'll just go play some matches with those individual brawlers. But I hope you guys are excited. First time ever doing ranking the balance changes, ranking things. As always though, if you guys are gemming, getting skins, getting mega boxes, be sure to scroll all the way to the right, put in that code BT1 in the shop there, get a 5% kickback of the gems that you guys spent, and it helps out a ton. But thank you guys so much that have used it. You guys are amazing. Now let's get into this. Ranking thing. Remember I said lowest on the places balance changes I don't really agree with, and that could not be more true here. 15th place is Tick. That's right, Tick is getting a buff. They are buffing his main attack damage from 896 damage to 952 damage per bomb. I disagree with this change. I really wish they looked at how fun it is to face a brawler, or how annoyed people get facing a brawler, and I feel like Tick, nobody wants to face a Tick. Obviously, disclaimer here, the balance changes aren't live yet while I'm recording this episode. 14th on the list is Bea. Now, I did think she needed a nerf. They nerfed her honeycomb star power to only work once per game. It does not trigger now on respawn. Like you guys know, duo showdown, you die, you get it like a bunch of times. You know, it's like extra life now, where you only get it once per the entire match. In return, they gave her back her full second invincibility shield. I'm not a fan of like star powers that only work once a game, because they really lose their value in 3v3 modes. We're gonna talk about this in the next bit for the next one. So it's like, I'm glad with the nerf for Bea. I just wish it wasn't this way. I'm not a fan of relegating a star power to only really being useful in showdown, aka the 13th ranking on the list. 8-bit extra life is getting a nerf. They are removing the invulnerability shield. That means when 8-bit dies and respawns, no invulnerability shield, no ammo. Extra life I feel like is gonna be pretty useless now. You may in some instances escape in showdown, but this invincibility shield was what was keeping him alive and useful, and now it's out. So I'm not a fan of the change. Extra life was only bad in showdown. 8-bit was only really annoying with that in showdown. They really should just rework these 2 star powers and make them so they're not only for showdown, basically. In the next 5 changes, you're gonna see a common theme, and it's gonna be the same for all. 12th is Poco. They're buffing his health from 5,320 at max level to 5,600. I don't think this is the route that Poco needed. I think Poco needed a damage buff. 11th is Frank. You guessed it, a health increase again. Frank's HP is going from at max level to 8,540 to 8,960. That means with Sponge, he's going to have 10,000 HP, 10,060. I don't think that's the correct way to, like, they keep giving Frank health. Like, how much health are you gonna give him? Give him more movement speed, give him a little extra range. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the health. Even though I do think Frank needed a buff, I'm just not a fan of just buffing his HP more. He's already the tankiest dude in the game. 10th, Pam. Again, buffing HP. Going from 6,300 to 6,720. It's the same story. I don't know if that's exactly what she needed. Number 9, Primo. Again, getting HP buff. Going from 1,820 to 8,400. Primo did need a buff outside of Brawl Ball. He's not used much. I don't know if HP is the way to go. Now, 8th on the list here, we have Ems. I honestly thought Ems was like a really balanced brawler. I pushed to 1,000 recently, and I thought she was okay. But they are buffing her HP from 5,040 to 5,320. So she's gonna be a little bit more tanky. When a brawler gets on top of her, she's gonna survive for a little bit, which is gonna help her. And then they actually are buffing hype. Ems recovers 300 health per second for each enemy. Now she's gonna recover 400 health per each enemy. Still gonna go with bad karma. That extra damage is just so valuable. But even so, it's gonna help her. But again, another buff to her HP, which I don't really think she needed it, but maybe that's because I'm biased, but hey, we'll see. Now we're getting into the tier where I'm really liking the changes. 7th up, we have, where is he? Colt. I'm really a fan of this one because Colt, I feel like he's one of the worst brawlers in the game, and there's not much you can do with this kit because obviously he's just a ranged attacker and got a lot of bullets to shoot. So what's the best way? Increases damage. One bullet before did 420 damage. After the buff, it's going to deal 448. And then his super, also same thing, did 420 damage per bullet. Now it's going to deal 448. So he's going to melt some brawlers. I'm excited to see how Colt does. And it's my same thoughts with Dynamike. For Dynamite did 1,064 damage per one of the Dynamite sticks. Now after the buff, one Dynamite stick is going to deal 1,120 damage for a total of 2,240. So they're looking at Mr. Mike here, giving him the extra base damage to his main attack, which I think is going to be helpful because him and Colt really needed the buffs. Fifth on the list is Mr. P. I'm kind of sad because we just pushed him to 1,000 trophies, but at the same time, he's fifth on the list because I did think he needs to be nerfed. I don't know if this is the correct nerf he needed. They are reducing his range by 12.5%. I probably would have nerfed his super if this were me. Like, the porters on the map are what are annoying, or the robot penguins. Reduce the amount of them, maybe even just his attack speed, like how fast he can get his main attack off, because that burst damage from that is really crazy. He's up here because I think he did need a nerf, but I would have did his either attack speed or super for the porters, maybe spawn them less. All right, now we're getting into, though, the actual matches here. Carl receiving a nerf, and I'm happy about this one, because protective pirouette was just too strong. They are reducing the damage reduction from 40% to 30%. The reason why I have this in 4th spot up here is because I really think he needed it. Value you got just from that reduction of 40% was crazy. Now 30%, it's still gonna be a decent amount. It may not be enough, but it's a step in the right direction. Like Carl with that shield was insane. So I think it's gonna be a good change for him. And then also go nice stun there, bro. Thank you, man. But a lot of people were thinking protective pirouette was too broken. Definitely needed that nerf, so I'm for it. And it's kind of like, I'm glad to see it too, because you guys know, like, the Darryl, Carl meta hopefully comes to an end here soon. Hopefully I can clutch this. Sadly I can't, but I kind of just spoiled it there. I'm glad to see it because it's been a tank meta for a while with Carl and Darryl in prominence, and Rosa. Spoiler, Rosa's not on this list. They missed that one for sure. But I'm happy with it. Now let's win this game. Oh, Frank, if only you waited 2 seconds for the BB. I think they got that. I'm pretty sure they do. Nice. Now we're getting into the juicy part that everyone is wondering. The legendary buffs. Oh, hell, the legendary Spike. He is returning to his former glory. Spike is receiving a damage buff. It was 672 damage per spike to now 728. You're going to be going from dealing 4,032 damage if you hit all 6 of the spikes to 4,368. That's a pretty solid change, and that's a lot of damage where before he wasn't finishing off the brawlers, and he's going to be able to do that now. Oh my gosh, guys, Spike has not really received any changes since the curveball, fertilizer. They messed with the star power and everything, but he hasn't really gotten any love to his base stuff for a long time. He's been like Mr. Steady. He's been okay, but I think he's fallen out of favor a lot recently because of the tank meta and everything. And with this extra damage, I think Spike's going to be forced to be reckoned with now, and it's going to be a lot more fun to play him. I'm happy for it. Spike really hasn't been a top dominant brawler in the meta for a while, and hopefully this will push him up there, maybe top 5, maybe top 10. I'm glad to see it because Spike actually is a rewarding brawler to play because he's really squishy, and so he takes some skill. He's not just like a no skill brawler, so I'm really happy with the change for Spike at number 3 here. Honestly, I could not be... Oh, see if we can get it. Oh, so close. Like I said, hopefully this puts him more in a better spot in the meta because I do miss seeing him played a lot in a lot of the modes and everything. So I'm excited for it. Let's just go launch this over here. See if we can go clutch up with this goal. Get that healing. There we go. Just got to take care of our other Mr. Spike here. There we go. Got a goal. That was a nice sweeper by the Tara. I don't even remember scoring the first goal, just saying, but we'll take it. Number 2 on the list. Now, I don't have any merch for the Brawler, but I really think he needed it. Darryl is finally receiving a nerf. He's been one of the top Brawlers, top 2, top 1, whatever, in the meta for months now. And that is mainly because of Steel Hoops star power. They're finally nerfing it from 2.5 seconds to 0.9 seconds. Not even a full second. Honestly, I'm really happy about this because, like I said, Darryl has been such a good brawler for so long. I think it's time to rotate in the new brawlers in the meta so it stops getting stale. I'm not really a fan of like the tank meta at the moment. I want to see maybe more higher skill cap brawlers take the throne for the top brawlers for the time being. So I'm happy about it, and I still think like this is a perfect nerf as well because I think like his base kit, he still is a solid brawler even without steel hoops. So it's not like too devastating a nerf, but it's not like he's gonna be as wow. I did not mean to shoot that ball with the auto aim. That is a big rip right there. But hey, he got us. Normally I should be able to score that, but either way, let's go. It seems as though they are done. They're giving up. Let's roll in here. Come on, Mr. Leon. You guys know there's one brawler left, and I said he got a buff. That's the epic foreshadowing there. Steel hoops, not being able to reduce damage for the same amount as time, he's going to be a lot easier to kill. He's not going to be as devastating in Brawl Stars, in Brawl Ball. It's a welcome change, if that makes any sense. And I think it's the right change because his base kit is okay. Somehow we still scored that. Let's go. GG's. Now we're moving on to number 1. My, oh my. This is the perfect example of ask and you shall receive. How many times have you guys asked? Leon, buff Leon. He's not very good right now inside of Showdown. He needs a buff, buff Leon. Your cries have been answered. Leon's actually getting a buff. Are you guys ready for this? Leon, they increase his main attack damage at max range from 144 at max level to 249. So before we use this tickling brawlers at max range, if he hit all 4 of his shurikens, they would deal 576 damage. Now, almost a double increase. They're gonna feel it. At max range, if he hits all 4 of his shurikens, he's gonna deal 996 damage. Almost 1,000 damage. Now, this is only affecting his damage at max range, but I'm honestly okay with it because you guys know, like, before poking with Leon at max distance really was annoying because you barely did any damage and took forever to charge your super. So implications with this, dealing more damage, finishing off more brawlers. Another implication as well is when you're firing off those shots at max distance, getting that little extra damage, you charge your super quicker. What is the most annoying thing and the crazy actually broken thing about Leon? His invisibility super. So, with all of that combined, you are going to get this brawler that gets his super quicker, has a lot more damage at the max ranges. Sadly, I'm probably gonna die here. Okay, I picked him off, let's go. But I think it's the buff that's needed now. This may not make him like the top brawler in the game. But that's not the purpose of this episode here, or the purpose of him being number 1. The reason why he's number 1 is because of you guys. Fan service at its finest right now. And because people have been asking for so long, he's a fan favorite brawler, and they finally buffed him. Like I said, I don't know how meta this is gonna make him, but I do think it's a well-welcomed and needed change. I'm happy for Leon. Hopefully this helps him out a bunch, getting that super quicker, actually being able to deal significant damage at decent range is gonna be nice. I don't know if I like his healing star power right here. I don't feel like it's as effective for me right now. Because I want that speed just going whack someone in the face. See right there, steel hoops. After the nerf, he ain't gonna be able to do that hooligan. But yeah, we lost here, but hey, when buff Leon, we ain't gonna be losing that much. Am I right? Am I right? High five, Leon truthers out there. I'm excited for this is a really big balance change. I hope it shakes up the meta a bunch. But let me know your thoughts on the changes. Do you think they missed anything? One thing that I think they missed is something done to Rosa. Because she's just so strong right now. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Subscribe, use code BT1 in the shop. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.